So, hello. So, actually, I have been kind of not making videos for like 2 months now. And of course, there came some questions when the next videos will be coming. Let me check, we have an audio distortion. That's always a startup issue with YouTube. I don't know why. So, okay, let's start again. So I've been pretty much offline for like 2 months. I didn't make any videos, and a lot of people asked for new content and so on and so forth. And the reason for that is that I've taken a new job, and that is kind of changing a lot of things for me right now. So that's why I didn't manage to really create some new Nix videos or new AI videos. And I thought it might be a good opportunity to just start with a live stream here and rebuild parts of my home manager configuration on stream here, because I need to kind of find an entry point for me to get started again. And that's why we are doing this stream today. So without further ado, let's get into the code stuff. I just need to... Okay, that's better. I had an echo here. So what we will be doing today is, the situation is the following. I have this kind of huge nix-flake that holds a lot of system configurations and all my user configurations, and all of this is kind of tightly coupled. And as I am getting to work with more and more non-NixOS systems that can be client systems or systems at work, or I don't know, maybe something like this here, that's a U console I recently received. I find myself to have a couple of difficulties with this. So what I want to do today is I kind of want to separate out the home manager configuration into its own nix-flake that I can then use on the non-NixOS systems very easily to configure my home environment. And of course, I can use that on my NixOS host systems. So today I will start building a new flake for the home environment just from scratch, and I will of course take lots of the parts of my existing system configurations to speed things a little bit up, but I think this is a nice exercise for people who want to learn a little bit about NixOS and Nix and want to get into it. So yeah, let's get started with this. So as you can see here, this is my main system configuration, and actually the part that's responsible for the home configurations is all here in the home folder. And as I don't want to mess around with my home config on my main computer here, I will kind of remote build the configuration on this system. And I don't know if you can see that, but here it says it's a Ubuntu on that, and as we are using that, the remote development on the Ubuntu machine is very easy to set up. So what we'll do, we will just start setting up the remote development here on the Z editor. And so for that, we will just start with the terminal here. And just make things a little bit bigger. So first of all, I will just test if I can reach my Ubuntu machine here. And the connection is working, and of course I don't want to log in with my password all the time. So what we will do is we will just do a SSH copy ID, and then I will just select my user's public key here, and just my username and the IP address again. What was that? Okay, and now we have added my public key successfully, and then I will just head back into that here and just quickly modify my configuration here. Where do I have it? Oh, that is over here. And let's see. Yeah, maybe just copy this one here. This is just the part of my NixOS configuration where I have the SSH configs here. So this one goes to 1 and 152. And now I can just save this. And the other part I want to do is I need to go into my features desktop and coding. And here I have all the Z configuration, which is basically the same that you will have in the settings.json file, but this is just written by Nix. And let's have a look here. And for instance, here I have already some of the remote development setups here, so we can just copy that. And this is kind of just using SSH in the background. So we can take my IP address here, give it a nickname, and what we also can do here, as we have down here, we can just already set up a project folder here. And in this case, I want my project to live in my home folder here and set this to home config. And then I will just quickly rebuild my system configuration to apply these changes. Ah, hey, Stefano, nice to have you on stream. Yeah, I've been away for quite a while, but now I will try to get back into business and making some videos and some live streams and so on and so forth. So I will just quickly test this here. So when I say SSH and then try to connect my Ubuntu server, this will ask for my credentials here. And this is working with the SSH key, so we can use that. And oh yeah, of course, hello Neil, welcome to the stream. So what I will do now is I will just create my home config folder here on my remote system, and then I can just log out. And I would just start up a new Z instance here because I need to copy at least some parts of my system configuration because I want to type out everything. So and now what we can do is we can just say, okay, we go to file and then we say open remote. And then I just can select the one I have just set up in my zconfig. And as you can see here, this will start downloading the Z remote development dependencies on the Ubuntu machine. And then we can, and as you can see here, we have now established a connection to this little device here. And now we can start building this up on the remote machine here. Okay, hello Magnifico. I'm sorry when I'm butchering your name, but thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the tutorials and all the content. So right now we will just start with the flake.nix file here. And let's see. And for now, I will just take my flake.nix that I have in my system configuration. Of course, this is far too overloaded right now, so we will just delete a lot of parts here. So first of all, we will just delete all of these pinned versions. We don't need hnix for now. We don't need disco because we don't want a partition. No generators for now, no hyperpanel, no cursors. And the dot files I can also remove for now. This can go away, this can go away. And as we are building home configurations here, this is kind of dependent also very much on user add system. So that's something we can just build into the configuration. So we take this away and this. And let me see. We can still inherit the outputs. That's a lot of stuff going on in my system flake. So we will keep the overlays and the home modules we can take away for now. We can take away all the nix configurations and then we can just take the home configurations as a template and get rid of all the shell stuff. And here we are missing something. So, and that will be our starting point here to get started with the config here. So as you can see, this is much easier than before. And so I can just do a little bit of explanation here. Of course, on the input side, we need to have home manager here because this will kind of manage our user environment. And in addition to that, we have nix packages as an input. And of course, we will also have home manager and nix packages as output. And here we just inherit the outputs so we can use kind of outputs dot and whatever we have as part of our configurations. And down here we will just start building our first home configuration here. And this is, as I said, for this little Ubuntu U console here. And yeah, we will just start building this out today. And as the U console has a Raspberry Compute module 4 in it, we need to change the architecture here because this is an ARM CPU. And let's see, what do we have? We don't need a host name for now. We can inherit the inputs and outputs, so we can use them if we need them in our home configuration. And for modules, we will kind of reflect a similar structure as I have on my home flake. So for the start, I want to import something from users and then my username. And under users, I want to make something, I don't know, let's start with the server profile. So server.nix. And this will kind of be my my basic port for the flake. And now I want to build up, and I will also explain a little bit on the structure here for the configuration. So for example, let's see. No. We can quickly have a look at my NixOS configuration here. Actually, what I want to keep or make similar is, of course, that I have something like the home folder and the feature sets and so on and so forth. But I want to make it less complicated. But the basic structure should be similar to the one I use for my system configurations. And oh yeah, Neil, the hardware. Yeah, that's something very tiny and very small. So this is a U console, and this has a compute module 4 from a Raspberry in it. And as this is kind of specialized hardware in some sense, there is no real support for NixOS right now. I know there is some kind of experimental flake, but I want to have this up and running a little bit faster, and I don't have time to experiment right now. So that's why we are building this over the home manager configuration here. So for the file structure, I will just start some folders. And for example, I will create a modules folder. And this folder will kind of hold this folder will kind of reflect the feature sets I have here in my system configurations. So for now, on the server config, I will just start with the modules folder, and then let's say we make a CLI folder for the CLI features here. And I would just throw in some default.nix files for now. And of course, as I said, I want to have a folder users. And I make my own user folder here. And here, as I have specified in my flag.nix, we will do something like profiles. And here we make, let's see. I think for now and for today, we will start with the server.nix. And the idea is to have kind of different feature sets for different use cases. So for example, On a server system, I don't need any of the desktop stuff, so we will separate between server and desktop. Hello, Dreams API, welcome to the stream. And also, I want to separate a little bit by use case. So, for example, I have some Linux systems I manage at work, and I have my private Linux systems, and I want to have kind of flexible configurations that also share all the things that are in common that I can just configure in one place here. And that's kind of the structure I came up with. So actually this is, yeah, we are building the structure as we go here. So that's due to change for sure. So what do we have here? Then I want to include as in my system configurations some kind of overlays, because when I want to overlay packages because I want to modify them or just want to overwrite the version or whatever, I need to include overlays in here. And what else do we need? For the overlays, we can just do as we have in our system configuration. And make a default.nix also in here. And this is something, yeah, we can just start with this one maybe. So this one I can just take out of my system configurations. So I can just copy basically all the contents here of my overlays default.nix and just throw it in here. And now we can just make this a little bit smaller because I want to start kind of simple here. So we just take out some of them. So we can take out the n8n because we won't need that on a small system like that. That is not really powerful enough. I will keep this one here because this is just something that will override the command that will append this command line argument to the Brave command, because Brave kind of keeps asking for the keychain on Linux, and this will just override that. What lines do you mean? Do you mean the lines I am removing or the ones in here? I can just quickly go through what this is doing or what these overlays are doing. I will just quickly remove the stuff that is kind of overkill for now. So just in general, okay, perfect. So okay. So the main idea here of this overlays here, or this overlay definition, is that this covers different use cases for overlays. So for example, the first part up here, that is additions. And the idea here is that we have in our structure here, we have a folder called packages, and this folder packages will include custom packages. Hello, Delta Gamma, welcome to the stream. And this will append all the custom packages we have here defined in our nix-flake to Nix packages, so we can just use them as any other package on Nix packages. And that's what this first addition part will do, really. Then down here we have a modification part, and what this will do is it will just override an existing package from Nix packages. And in this case, this will only override the command line arguments for the Brave executable. And this will just append the password store equals gnome lib secret. So it tells basically Brave what secret storage I'm using. Oh, Delta Gamma, that's very kind of you. Yeah, actually, I do my best to teach about Nix and how to deploy things and so on and so forth. And I also learn a lot for myself. So that's kind of a exciting journey here. So yeah, actually, the command line argument here, that's a standard command line argument that belongs to Brave. So that's something you can find on the Brave documentation, actually, because that is just a standard flag for Brave. So what else we have here, and these ones are commented out. Actually, on the latest version of NixOS Unstable, there is a problem with Node.js 24, or at least I cannot build the package here. So this one will basically just override the standard Node.js with the Node.js version from Nix packages stable, so from 2505. And this one is something similar. And these ones are commented out because these problems are kind of solved for me. So I made a flake update, and the paperless NGX server was kind of breaking because of a dependency. And then you can just pin one package to a certain commit from Nix packages. And when you do this with the overlay, you kind of just replace the program for the whole Nix packages on your configuration in a case like this. And yeah, these are just, just leave them in for reference. So I will delete them, I don't know, every couple of weeks when the problems are really gone. And these are kind of nice to remember. For example, this one, yeah, this one I have built for Doom the Dark Ages, because on Doom the Dark Ages there was some kind of preview version for Mesa necessary, really. That was when the game just came out. And this was kind of on the master branch of Nix packages, which is even newer than NixOS Unstable. And that's something I've built into here, so to be able to play Doom the Dark Ages on day one. And down here we have kind of the stable packages definition we have been referring to here. And this kind of refers to, I need to show you this on the system config. As you can see here, we have, for example, temp packages, we have stable packages, and so on and so forth. And here you can see this always refers to inputs Nix packages stable, inputs Nix packages, and then the commit hash. And when we have a look here, this is all reflected here in our inputs. And the way we can use this is we can, let's see, where do we have it? Actually, the way we use this here, as you can see here, we have a definition that is called stable equals, and then import, and then inputs Nix packages stable. And when we are using something like home packages, usually you would have something like, whoops, hello, just a sec, what is my keyboard doing here? So when you have something like home packages, usually you have something like this with packages. And then we have an array, and then we just have our packages here, like, I don't know, neovim and htype and whatever. And the way you use it, when you have set it up like this, let's say, for example, you want neovim from the stable branch, then you can just do stable dot neovim, and then it will not take neovim from the default Nix packages you have. It will take it from the one you have defined down here. And this makes it very flexible to work with multiple versions of Nix packages, and that's very easy to do here. Yeah, sorry for the bird sounds. We got 2 cockatoos and 2 African greys, and yeah, they make lots of noise. Full setup. What do you mean with switching projects? Okay, you love them. Great. Maybe I can invite them someday for the stream. I mean, the Greys, they can kind of talk and sing and whatever. So okay, where was I? Delta Gamma, I will just, when you specify your question, I will answer it later on. I will just continue a little bit with the code here. So we also get something done here. So let's have a look. And so where was I? We have built the overlays for now, so that is working. And the way this is connected really is in our flag.nix. We have just this here. This line says overlays equals and then import, and we just import the whole overlays directory here. And that's how it's done, and that will apply the overlays. And when we talk about overlays, that is something I have in my system configuration. Let's see. Down here in my common default.nix file. And here you can see we have the overlays we had specified in the file. So we have the additions, modifications, and so on and so forth. And we need to make this a little bit easier. And I think I got that lying around here. Let's see. I will just copy this. What folder did we take? We have modules CLI default.nix. And as I want to have this over all configurations, I will just under modules make something like base.nix file. And here I'll just paste in some overlay config here. And this is the same structure as on my, my home flag. So we have Nix packages. Here we have overlays. And for the overlays, as you can see here, we have, for example, these ones we can just take over here and copy them in here. And we don't have temp packages on this here. And as you can see, we have additions, modifications, and stable packages. And that is, of course, also what we have here. So we have the additions here, the modifications here. And here we have the stable packages. So let's see, Delta Gamma says, I mean, like if I have 2 or more clients, they have totally different requirements. So I would like to work on one for an hour and then switch completely to another, tearing down the first setup so that full setup resources are used at all times for each project, but also sharing say in that server. I mean, what you could do is you could kind of okay, let's say here comes something else, but then resuming the first project when I need to tearing down the second. No, as far as I know, there's no possibility. But what you can easily do with Nix is when you have multiple machines at your disposal, um, it doesn't necessarily to be the same machine that is building the packages or doing other work. So, for example, you could build on different machines for different projects, for example, or you can also define how much CPUs and so on and so forth you do for or you take for the build process. But you could say, okay, I have client A, I build this on this machine, and client B builds on this machine, and then they can easily work in parallel. That's kind of an approach you could really do, but pausing builds, I don't think that's possible. Actually, it's kind of doing that when you stop it, because let's say when you stop the build process on Nix packages, it will of course stop the actual build and start the one package that you have interrupted again. But when Nix has already built, let's say 60% of the packages, that's all done, and it will resume at let's say 60% next time. But really a strategy for that scenario, I don't really have right now. So, where was I? So, oh yeah, we were at the overlays. Then here we have our default.nix. And our default.nix here, that is kind of the root file in the modules folder. I would just close these ones. And what I want to do here is I just want to import the other stuff. So we make this accept function arguments here. And then we can just define our imports here. And the AI has already suggested the right ones here. So we are importing base.nix. That's the file that's holding our imports and our nix configuration here. And we also import the CLI folder, which includes for now the default.nix. And on the CLI folder, we will also start building out our CLI commands we need here. Yeah, I think the birds are downstairs hanging out with my wife right now, so they will probably come back. But I'm not sure. So let's see. So for the CLI, we'll just start with some simple ones I have already in my system configuration. So let's say we take in fuzzyfinder.nix. And this one I have already in my other configuration. And for those of you who have seen my videos, I like to kind of do config features, I can just enable and disable here. So that's this part here. And this kind of builds a nix enable option. So we can just say features, CLI, tools, FCF, enable equals true in this case. Ah, there's my wife in the chat. Okay, great. No, I don't think that would be a good idea to get her in here right now. I don't know, we can quickly show her if you want to. So let's see, now we make a second one, and I am using new shell, and I of course want to use new shell also on the Ubuntu machine. So I will just copy this configuration over here. And for now, this is kind of a lot of boring code, but I think in, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, we will have all elements together. We can kind of activate this home configuration on that machine. Okay, Delta Gamma writes, what about just dev work? Forget the building part. I think I confused things with that. Can't we switch flakes? Does that stop everything in the previous flake? Or did I misunderstand how flakes work? Yeah, actually, the easiest part really would be to work with dev shells or with something like devenv, because on Nix you can basically just automatically load all dependencies you need for that client, and that you will have defined in devenv setup. And let's see, I can quickly show you that. So everyone, if I am switching context too fast because of the questions, just let me know. So let's see. No, where's that? Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to development environments, there's different ways you can handle this in Nix. You can write your own Nix dev shells. Thank you. I'm glad to be back. Thank you. And the good part with devenv, for example, is it uses Nix under the hood, and you can basically just work with a nix-flake per customer project. And this is also able to load the services you need and kind of activate them on demand. So for example, here you can, let's see, when you look at the supported services, you have kind of different database engines and so on and so forth. And this allows you to create a development environment per project, and that will hold all of the coding dependencies, all the services you need for testing and development work, and so on and so forth. And you could have a look at my YouTube channel. I have a video where I show this in case of a ghost block setup, where you can see that all of the things I need for developing the ghost block theme are activated automatically, and I'm using devenv for that. And that could really help if you want to switch back and forth between clients with different languages, requirements, and so on and so forth. So back to my flag. So I was at new shell here. The new shell configuration is kind of lengthy because we are defining lots of environment variables, and here we have still some things I need to take out, because this is something that will kind of detect on which TTY I'm logging in, and it will either start Hyperland or it will start GameScope for Steam Gaming. And of course, this we won't need here. These are some aliases. These ones I will keep. And here I have some extra functions for fuzzy finder history defined. And that is all available on GitHub if you are interested. So yeah, a link to my YouTube channel. Yeah, kind of. Let's see. Let's see where I have it. So that would be like this. Okay, so that was the new shell part. And yeah, just something gimmicky. So we will also make a niche.nix here. And this is also already in my home configuration. And of course, I need to import all of them, and I will also build up some other stuff here. So we have something like packages we need and whatever we pass in here. And here we do our imports, new shell, niche. And I don't know why the completion forgot this one. So, and then I want to copy out some other parts here of some program definitions I always use on all of my systems, and we can just quickly go through all of that. So first of all, we have a carapace, and that is something to nicely format help and subcommands on the terminal, and this is integrated in the shells I'm using. Usually I used fish for a long time. Now I'm using new shell as my main shell, and bash is kind of something you will always need from time to time. And then we have a Zoxide for fast traveling in the file system. Then of course we have neovim bat as a alternative to the cat command. And here we have direnv, and this can be easily integrated with nix. So when I have a flake.nix that is defining development shells, as soon as I enter into a folder, it will activate all the dependencies. And delta gamma, that's kind of the nix way. So you can define a nix-flake where you create a dev shell with all the dependencies, and you can also define scripts and whatever. And then you use nix-direnv, and as soon as you enter the directory, it will automatically activate the shell and you are ready to go. And here we have ether as a replacement for ls, and this is just lf, a terminal file manager. And here we have some packages. So I need hnix, and Alejandra is a really nice code formatter for Nix. This one we won't need. Comma is really nice because this will just enable you to execute comma on the terminal and then the package name on Nix packages, and it will just pull the package from Nix packages and execute it. And here we have devenv again, fd, http,
q, just lazy git, and this one we won't need because we have lf up here as a service. Yeah, and that's basically the basic server setup here. And let's see. So
So I got an audio distortion. I just need to quickly reconnect YouTube. Be right back. I don't know why that happens. That never happens on Twitch. It's a YouTube thing, and actually, I am using a self-hosted restreamer where I can just stream out to as many things I would like, and I don't know. This is kind of strange that this audio bug happens sometimes on YouTube. So I will just check everything in the CLI folder. So we import FZF niche a new shell for now, and let's have this alphabetically ordered. So, and this should all be okay now. These ones are okay. We got the base.nix with our overlays. We got the default.nix. And so that's for the modules folder now. Now let's have a look at the user folder. Here we have the server.nix. And the way I want to build this out is that we use it kind of the same way as I do on my system packages. So we would just go for some nix options here. This will refer to the feature sets we have built here. So for example, when we are in FZF, you have here an option that is created here, option features, CLI tools, FZF enable. And this is kind of just reflected here. So we have kind of feature switches we can just turn on and off for the various profiles we need. And that gives us the possibility to define all this configuration globally up here. And then just per profile, we can just say, okay, we want this enabled or not. And this makes it very easy and very flexible to use. So that's for the profiles. And now let's have a look at the user configuration. So for the user configuration, I will create a default.nix here. And let's say we will just store it with the function like this. And start with our imports. And of course, what is it doing here? Of course, this is not right. And what I would like to import here is our modules folder here. Because we need this import here to have the modules and the feature sets we are using in our profile here later on. And for that, we need to import it into our configuration, and we just do that here. And now, let's see. Actually, there is one more complicated thing I want to already take note of here. So let's say if I don't use this on a non-NixOS system, if I use a NixOS system, I might have a system-specific home configuration, or I just want to pass some home configuration that is specific to that system into this home flag here. So I need to kind of find a way to merge the configuration here from the home flag with the configuration that might use this flag for a system. So what I would like to do is I would like to make sure that if we pass in some parts of a system configuration here, that this is merged with the home configuration. And that sounds a little bit complicated, but it's not that complicated. So what we can do here is we can just say config equals, and then we take a library function that is make merge, and this takes an array. And of course, in order to use this, we will need to pass this in as an argument. And what we will merge here is we will just start with our regular home manager configuration. So we have something like home equals, and let's see, we have something like username. And what else do we need? We need the home directory. And as you can see, my editor has seen me write a lot of Nix code, so it completes kind of nicely in the way I would kind of do it. But this is still wrong, because we just do config home.username. And this will basically just name the home directory just from the config home username. So we don't have this static, we have this dynamically. And for home manager, we need state version. And of course, this is completely wrong. So we take 25 of 5. And here we can just make this default here. So, and now I can just do my regular configuration as I would do usually. So first thing we will need, of course, is we need to define some programs here. And the most important program we need here, of course, is home manager. Let's see. Home manager enable equals true, because that's the basis for the whole thing we are doing here. And then I will just copy over from my other configuration some other stuff I'm using here. So for example, we take my Git configuration that is here. That's just regular stuff. So we enable Git with div-tastic. Here we have username, email, and here we have some aliases for Git. And here we just set something like a global Git ignore and the default branch I'm using when I'm writing code, really. And down here, let's say what I also want is a configuration for Jujitsu. And this is still kind of something I am learning right now, because I'm very new to Jiu-Jitsu as an alternative to Git, but it's kind of an interesting project, and that's why I always include it, so I can play a little bit around with it. And so what we have here is we have this merge function, and that will just merge our configuration here. And I want to merge that with a variable for system configuration we can pass into this module. So the way we can do this is we can just say lib, and we define an if condition. And then we say something like we have a, let's say we have system config variable. And when this is not empty, we just load the system config here. So what this does is if a system config exists and it is not an empty attribute set, then the system config will be kind of appended here or merged into this configuration. And that enables us to pass in parts from a system configuration that is using this flake. And in order to have this working, we will need to kind of set a default value here. So we will need, whoops, what is what am I typing today? We have something like system config, and then we have a question mark, and we do like this. And this will just make sure that the system config variable is set here, and the default value is an empty attribute set. So this makes sure that it always exists. And of course, as soon as it is passed in with values, it will just get the values. This is just defining the default value for this variable. So we don't get an error down here because the variable doesn't exist. So let's see. That should be okay now. And let's see, what else do we need? So let's see. Now I would like to try this, but I haven't installed Nix on this machine. So we will do that first. So let's see. I like to use the determinate systems Nix installer. And I always take the determinate one here. And this is kind of nice because this has all kinds of flakes and stuff already enabled. So there's no need to really deal with that. And this I can just copy in. And of course, as we are remote developing here, we do this on our Ubuntu machine now. So we can just quickly install Nix here. So that will take a while. And I would just use the time here to check if I see any obvious errors. No, but I don't think so. So, yeah, okay. So now we are installing, and yeah, this is kind of slow because the compute model 4 in this device is not very fast. So we do some bind in Magnifico AS is asking, will you do some bind in flag.nix of users with nix.js configuration attaching? Yeah, actually, yeah, this will be kind of flexible. What we are building here right now is the part where I just have a separate home configuration, but I want to build this out so I can also easily use this as an input for my Nix configurations and just use it as a module here. Use Home Manager as a module in my NixOS configs. That's the way it's planned, and yeah, that's the way it will for sure work. So let's see. We would just quickly execute this command to activate the environment, and let's see if nix command is available. So we have successfully installed that. And what I will do just now is I will just execute a nix-flake check and see what kind of errors we have produced while coding and talking and so on and so forth. So let's see how well that turned out. So let's see. I hope there won't be too many errors here, because yeah, I think my train of thought was kind of weird. Okay, we have some problems here. Let's see. So we're checking flag output overlays, inherit input outputs. Let's see. We have a syntax error. Okay. Let's see. Where was it? Unexpected equal. Oh yeah. So so this needs to be like this, I think. I'll try once again. And okay, that's also in the same file. What do we have here? So we got this one is correct. This goes here. This goes here. No, that's. Let me check in my original. So we have additions. Final pref. Import. Oh, yeah, I think I know. No. How did I do that? No. What am I missing here? Just have a look at my original code. Let's see, we have the overlays here. So final pref, we import packages. Here we have the AND operator. Okay. I think we are just missing this here. Okay, that worked. And now we can just try to apply this home config. So let's see. Hello, Victor. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate that. Yeah, actually, that's kind of the goal I had because yeah, I was kind of being in Apple's golden cage like for 20 years, and then I said, okay, I would need to do something more on my own. Then I started with Linux, and I was on Arch for I don't know, like 6 months, and then I came over the System Crafters YouTube channel, and this guy is doing really in-depth things on Scheme and Geeks and so on and so forth. And I fiddled around with Geeks for a while, but it was not really practical for me because on Geeks they are very strongly focused on free and open source, and you had to jump through a lot of hoops to get some proprietary apps and drivers installed. And then I researched and I found Nix, and yeah, that was kind of attracting me really strong. And I I went all through this on my own to find things out and so on. And the goal really for making this YouTube channel and all the videos was to make things easier, because I find documentation on Nix is in a lot of places not up to date, and assumes a lot of previous knowledge. And yeah, I want to help people get into Nix because Nix is a great solution, really. So, okay, this is working. And now we will just try to execute this. So I will just enter nix run here. And I will just run the home manager command directly from GitHub. So we will just do GitHub, and then this is under Nix community and home manager. And we will just do the switch command here and give it the flake flag. And let's see how did we define it here. Okay, so and then we just oops. And now let's see if we get this working. It's kind of the moment of truth. I hope it doesn't take too long on the small device. So let's see. Okay, that looks. No, it's just evaluating Nix packages. So we still don't know if all of the stuff we have written up is valid. So we will see. Don't know how to recreate. Okay. That is kind of a strange warning. Let me check. I've never seen that warning before. So let's see. Okay, I just quickly checked with Claude. Let's see. Oh yeah. So nix collect garbage. And let's see if this helps. So let's see if this will build now. I mean, this could be, I have just quickly tested Home Manager on this without any configuration. So, and then removed it, but I don't know. We will see if this is working now. Let's see. It's still evaluating Nix packages. No, okay. We will try something else. So what we will do is we will just do a home manager init here. And this will kind of create a home manager folder in our config folder and just do some default home manager configuration. Yeah, actually, we are using we are directly connected in our editor to that machine. So that terminal you're seeing here is running on this device here, because we are using the very nice Nix remote development functionality from the Z editor. That's really great to work with. So let's see, do we have, oops, home manager available now? Command not found, okay. Let's see. Now we just do a home manager switch. So it will take the default config and let's see if we can activate that. And then we just override with our own flag here. Nothing happening. So that's looking a little bit better, but we will see if it activates. That's taking kind of a long time when you are used to the big computer. So it is building, so maybe. Ah, looks good. Okay, we got Home Manager installed, and now we just do like this. This could also be, I mean, we were pulling directly from GitHub, and I don't know, maybe the branch is just broken right now. Oh yeah, we need to remove this, of course. And now try again. Okay, here we get some more errors here. So we have something in our merged configuration here. Now where did we put that? Ah yeah, that was in the user folder down here. So let's see. Oh yeah, stupid. So let's see. I just need to check the braces here. Okay, these ones here. That is wrong. And I think, oops, we need to do like this here. And now we try again. No, that's okay. That is something. Of course, when we want to use config, we kind of need to pass that in. Okay, and here we have, let's see. That is something in our base.nix file. Let's see. Nix packages. We need to pass in the outputs if we want to use them. Same mistake. So what is this now? Max call depth exceeded branch condition. then. Okay, that is a very strange warning. This works, okay. Ah, okay, we don't have Git yet. That's bad. Where is that coming from? I have no idea right now. This could be still something we are doing in this module here. Maybe. Let's see if it's coming from here. Oops. So we comment this out here. And then we comment this out. And that is okay. This one needs to be removed. Nope. Okay. And just I need to go through all the files again. So let's see, we have self-home manager next pages. We have inputs and outputs. We have our overlays. We load our user. Okay, this file appears to be okay. Okay, over here we have and so let's see. There's still something wrong in this module here. I don't know what is wrong with my connection because I just saw OBS was disconnecting 2 times. So config lib merge. And down here we have oh yeah, we need this one again. But I think this will not solve our problem. No. So what else do we have here? The overlays should be fine. So what do we have up here? We have the default.nix. We import base. No, that's the problem here. We are kind of importing default.nix into itself. And of course we want to import the CLI folder here. Nope, infinite recursion. Okay. Let's see, we have base.nix. Why an infinite recursion here? So let's check base.nix. These ones I would just take out for now. I would just remove all the possible problematic parts for now. Okay, we still got the infinite recursion. So, noting that argument system config is not externally provided, so querying module args instead of requiring config. Oh yeah, I know what it wants. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think. It wants to have system config to be passed into the home configuration. Let's see. That looks promising. Yeah. Okay, now it's working. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. When I removed the lines with the merge statements, I messed up the braces and the semicolons. So let's see. It's kind of no, it's not really difficult to do that on stream, but yeah, kind of you're kind of all over the place. You're reading the chat, you are talking about things in between, and then you try to code up the stuff, and yeah, that's probably always like this, that you make small mistakes, really. So that just takes a little bit on this very, very fast Ubuntu machine. And actually, yeah, just for today, I will just go through it a little bit and see if I see some obvious errors. But what we have achieved today is, so we kind of made the basic structure and made the first module switches here for functionality, and we created at least a basic server profile. And yeah, maybe on next week on Thursday, we can just continue at this point and flesh out the configuration a little bit more, and also make a desktop configuration, for example, and yeah, maybe also install a remote desktop on our Ubuntu machine, so we can also work with the GUI apps and check how that is working. But for today, this needs to be running, otherwise I cannot stop streaming. That's impossible. Okay. This seems to be activating. Yeah. Okay, that's working. So let's see. No, this is not here. Okay, ls. So let's start new shell. Okay, new shell is here. So when we have ls, we have our nice new shell tables. We have git available. We have jj available. And what else did we install? Yeah, we have the fuzzy finder. Yeah, this is also working. And yeah, the other stuff we did not do really very much. Actually, yeah, one of the nicer little helpers here on Nix is the comma command. Let's say we can just say oh no, the Nix index database doesn't exist. I can show you this on my main desktop. That is one of my favorite Nix tools because let's see if I have. What this will do is you can just hit comma and just any package that is on Nix packages, and that will basically be the same like Nix run, Nix packages. Whoops. Say these will basically be the same, and when you have installed comma, it's very easy to just run a one-off command that is available on Nix packages but not installed, and that's really a nice tool I like to use a lot. Yeah, actually, configuration is working, and we should also have the formatter available. Let's see. Yeah. And we have formatted all of our files here. Should be okay now. And one thing I didn't set up yet is the code formatting on the remote machine. I need to check how I can do that, because when I develop with Z on my local system, I have automatic code formatting for Nix, and that did not work on the remote setup here. So I will need to check how we get that up and running. Yeah. So for today, we have a basic home manager flake, and I will upload that to my code repo later on. So you will have the code available if you want to have a look and yeah, try out yourself. No, that's the wrong one. Where is it? Here we are. Ah, it disconnected. No, it failed. What's going on here? Yeah, okay. So, yeah. So I will upload this code, and yeah, you can just just have a look at it. And yeah, I will continue next week at this point, and we will, as I said, we will flesh out the server config. We will flesh out the, we will create a desktop config. And yeah, and we will see how far we can take this. And as I said, the goal is to have a very flexible flake here I can use in my NixOS configurations. And yeah, we will definitely continue in this. So that's all from me for today. And thank you so much for joining the stream and for watching and for all of your nice comments. And I hope to see you next week. So have a nice evening. Bye bye.